Alright, let's do a tiny book haul. I've ordered a few books secondhand, and I also want to talk about my recent reads. Okay. Ooh, more packaging. Here's the book. This book is The Library of the Unwritten by A.J. Hackwith. Every book left unfinished by its author is filed away in the unwritten wing, a neutral space in hell presided over by Claire, its head librarian. Along with repairing and organizing books, her job consists of keeping an eye on restless stories whose characters risk materializing and escaping the library. When a hero escapes from his book and goes in search of his author, Claire must track and capture him with the help of former muse and current assistant Ethe and nervous demon courier Leto. But what should have been a simple retrieval goes horrifyingly wrong in a chase that threatens to reshape the boundaries between heaven, hell, and earth. The next book is by Melissa Albert and it's called The Bad Ones. In the course of a single winter's night, 4 people vanish without a trace across a small town. Nora's estranged best friend Becca is one of the lost. As Nora tries to untangle the truth of Becca's disappearance, she discovers a darkness in her town's past, as well as a string of coded messages Becca left for her to unravel. These clues lead Nora to a piece of local lore, a legendary goddess of forgotten origins who played a role in Nora and Becca's own childhood games. An arresting crossover horror fantasy threaded with dark magic, The Bad Ones is a poison pen love letter to semi-toxic best friendship, the occult power of childhood play and artistic creation, and the razor-thin line between make-believe and belief. I love this. Crossover horror fantasy threaded with dark magic. That is straight down my alley. And then we have The Book Eaters by Sunyi. This is honestly absolutely beautiful. Like, look at these edges. Also the cover and the back. It's very pretty. Then it has some very pretty end papers. And the book itself looks like this. Hidden across England and Scotland live 6 old book-eater families. The last of their lines, they exist on the fringes of society and subsist on a diet of stories and legends. Children are rare and their numbers have dwindled, so when Devon Fairweather's second child is born, a dreaded mind-eater, a perversion of her own kind, who consumes not stories but the minds and souls of humans, she flees before he can be turned into a weapon for the family, or worse. Living among humans and finding prey for her son, Devon seeks a cure for his hunger. But time is running out, for her family want her back, and with every soul her son consumes, he loses a little more of himself. The premise sounds very intriguing. Next book I got is Reckless. I already read this. Like, the second it came, I started reading it. I was reading it with my best friend, and I must say, I was disappointed. This book did not deliver what I hoped it would. If you don't know what we're talking about, by the way, this is Reckless by Lauren Roberts, and this is the second book in her, I actually don't know if it's called Powerless trilogy or if it has, yeah, Powerless series. So there is Powerless, there is Powerful, which is a novella, and this is the second book in the series. And I don't want to say too much because it is the second book, and I think that a lot of people still haven't read it, but it wasn't it. It wasn't it. I was disappointed. The scenarios me and my friend were coming up with, hoping that's how the book would end, were much more interesting than what she did. And don't get me wrong, I still gave it 3 stars. It's not bad. It was just disappointing. It's not what I thought it would be. This is The Fury by Michaelides, and this was a very impulsive buy, but I'm so glad that I bought it because I really, really enjoyed this book. I know that a lot of people read The Silent Patient from him and loved that book, and this one they didn't think was as good. I haven't read The Silent Patient, but I really like The Fury. It was written in a very interesting way where basically the author was pretending that he's drinking at a bar with you and he's telling you this story, and you don't know what's real and what's not because it's all his point of view and what he wants to tell you. But the story is set in a secluded Greek island where a group of friends go to relax during the Easter break. What starts as a pleasant trip turns into something pretty dark. Secrets starts to unravel and mysterious events start happening, kind of bringing everything into doom. Yeah. I gave this book 4 stars. I think this would be also a pretty nice summer read if you search for something that you can just read on the beach. It goes fast and yeah, I enjoyed it. The next book I got was also Impulsive Buy, and it's the Grimoire of Grave Fates by Hanna, Alkaf and Margaret Owen. There's just like a bunch of text messages, there's these evidence exhibits, interviews, and yeah, it's written in a very interesting way. And what this is basically there is this school, magical school, and a murder happens. And the murdered in question is the professor that everyone hates. And then the book is written by 18 authors. So each author writes for one student, and the students try to solve the murder. I give it 3 stars. I thought it was an interesting read. I must say it was a bit long. It's like 442 pages. I don't think it needed to be necessarily that long, but I still read it in just a few days. What I really liked about this book is that it had a lot of different voices from students from very different backgrounds, cultures, different magical abilities, different reasons why they were at the academy. I feel like nowadays the protagonists in books are very similar to each other, but in this book you get a huge variety of different people. I really enjoyed it about this. And last but not least, let me just have a sip of this water. We have The Book of Night by Holly Black. I showed you this book in my last video. I tried, okay? I got to page, like, I believe 60, almost 60. I just did not like this book. I kind of DNF'd it. I think it's more of a soft DNF. I'll try to... My cat is going crazy. I'll try to get back to it at some point in the future, possibly, but I just did not enjoy it. And I don't know what it is. I think it was just boring. Like, it didn't grab my attention. I felt like we talked way too much about the character and not about the story or the plot. I don't know. Something about this book just wasn't hitting the spot, if you know what I'm saying. So that's going in the DNF pile for now. Just wanted to give you a little update.